Hello and welcome to Wolfman Gaming. This is my Uncharted 4 Crushing Difficulty walkthrough, and this is chapter 21, also known as Brother's Keeper. And we are getting very close to the end of the game at this point. This is the second to last chapter. In the next chapter we will fight the final boss, but until then we get a small moment of rest. Because in the last thing that Sam did in chapter 20 was to run off after Nate and Avery's treasure. Some guys just don't know when to walk away and head for home, so Nate has begun following him. Right now he's so pissed, so the only reason he wants to find him is so that he can kill him himself. Which we all can understand at this point, because Sam has caused him more or less nothing but grief throughout this entire game. And don't get fooled by this chapter, because it is very mellow, it is very slow, down-paced, but there is actually one challenging part in this chapter, or at least I think it is. Because through this game we have had instances where we're supposed to slid down gravel, kind of like what's called slip and slide. And there is a sequence in this chapter where you will do that as well. And I feel a bit ashamed to admit it, because I have gotten through gauntlet after gauntlet. I survived chapter 17. I survived the ship graveyard fight in chapter 20. Chapter 13. All the hard fighting sequences of this game. But I ran into quite a lot of problems when it came to the last gravel slide in this game. I don't know why I had so much trouble with it. I think it was because when I got to this point, as I mentioned, I recorded this game over, I think it was 5 sessions all in all when I recorded this, and they were quite long because this is a challenging game. And staying true to my idiot traditions, I didn't do a practice run before I started recording it. I didn't have time, and I thought to myself that I know this game so well, even though this is the Uncharted game I have played the least amount of times, if you're not counting the Lost Legacy. But when I got to this chapter, I had been playing this game, I think when I started editing this video, or this sequence, which consisted of, I think it's chapter 18 and forward. I was really tired. I was stuck on chapter 20 for a while, not as long as on chapter 17, but my head was getting weary. I was sick of Nate and Sam and all their shenanigans. So when I got up to that slide, I couldn't get the timing right to save my life. To put it simply and plainly and completely truthful. And you will see in this video that I got past a section just by sheer dumb luck. And it's so weird because it isn't a hard section. All you need to do is slide. You have to steer Nate a little bit and jump in the right moments. But for some reason, my 30 plus years of playing video games just failed me. All my experience, all the skills I have accumulated over the years, just decided to piss off and have a coffee. Here you will also see a little transition, I think. Just because, as I said, I was really tired. Or maybe we're past it. Either way, I think I missed that jump or something like that. Something stupid. Maybe we're past transition. Not quite sure. Either way, as I said, there is a sliding section coming up. I think it's coming up pretty soon. And it isn't hard, really. I just had a lot of problems with it. And it feels quite weird, actually, to be sitting here right now, narrating this. There's the transition I was talking about. And I remember what it was. When I jumped over to that wall. See right there? You put in your rail spike. And somehow the detection just wasn't cooperating when I was sliding down this wall. But as I said, it feels weird to be narrating this because 3 weeks from now, because today is May 2nd, 2018, it's been 1 year since I uploaded my first video of Uncharted 1. So this project has taken me, even though it's only 4 games, or 4.5 if once again we count the Lost Legacy. These games have taken up so much of my time with recording and editing and narrating and uploading. So sometimes over the course of this project, I've been so fed up with these games. I have to admit, because these games have taken up at least 2 days of my weeks for the last year, because I upload twice a week, unless something unforeseen has happened, as me becoming sick or something like that. But twice a week I've been uploading these videos. Here is the slide, by the way, where I ran into some problems. And I think this is the part where I had the most problems. Either way. So it feels a bit bittersweet that we are almost at the end. All that remains now, as I said, is the final boss. And then the epilogue of the game, which I have included for 2 reasons. Because this is a full walkthrough, as I talked about in one of the videos in the beginning of this walkthrough, that I decided to cover the entire game. And also, in the epilogue, there is a little bonus trophy you can achieve. I can't remember the name of it right now, but I will talk more about it in that video. But it can only be unlocked in the epilogue. There is an instance earlier on in the game where you think you may have the chance of doing it, but as far as I know, it's not possible to do it there. So we're coming up to the end of chapter 21. All that remains now is to just swim out here and start climbing this, whatever it's called, bridge thing. This wooden platform, can't remember the name for it in English. But I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in my next video. So until next time, this is the Wolfman signing off.